A lot of buyers who need to obtain financing are losing bidding wars to cash buyers in this market, even if their offer is higher. In this video, I speak with a local lender, Benji Spivey, and we talk about how we can make your offer just as good as a cash offer, even if you need to get financing. So we're gonna go ahead and hop right into that. I'm gonna roll that clip right now. And after we find out how we can make your offer just as strong as that cash offer, even with getting financing, I'm also going to give a couple of pointers on how to properly bid in a multiple offer situation in this market to ensure that you have the best chance of winning the home. Because in this market, you may not have a second chance to go back and change your offer, so you want to make sure it's right the first time. This is something that comes up a lot as well, and a lot of people use these terms sort of interchangeably. And you may have seen them on the internet: qualification versus approval. PreApproval, pre-qualification. Yeah. What's the difference between those two?
So yes, they are thrown around very loosely.
Yep.
Technically, when we reach out to a borrower and we get income docs and we pull credit and we call the realtor and say, hey, your buyer's good to go, we'll give you the thumbs up, that is technically a pre-qualification.
Okay.
A pre-approval should imply that an underwriter has reviewed at least the borrower themselves, and we've got the thumbs up. There's no liens. There's nothing crazy on the back end that is going to cause the borrower not to be able to purchase. Now, with that being said, one thing, especially in this market, and I'm not telling you anything, you know better than I do for sure. Shopping in a market that's as hot as this one is right now, having a full-blown pre-approval is not a bad idea. And what we do a lot of times, if I get the buyer soon enough, I will actually run them through what's called a TBD approval. So it's the property is to be determined, but we're going to collect everything up front that's needed from the borrower and actually run them through the approval process with an underwriter, subject to the condition of the property. So the only thing we would really be waiting on is let's find a property and let's get an appraisal. And as long as all of that comes back the way we need it, then we're good to go. Now, what that allows the borrower and the real estate agent to do, because especially here in South Carolina, we know people coming from the Northeast and from out west in California, if they're coming in and making a cash offer.
Yeah, that changes things.
Yep. And you've got an offer that may be equal price, or maybe your offer is $10,000 more than the cash buyer.
Right.
The cash buyer oftentimes will win that bid. Well, if you're already approved, we can waive the finance contingency on the contract.
Okay.
And you are now essentially same as cash, because even the cash buyer is going to get an appraisal done.
Gotcha.
So the only contingency that you would have at that point would be the appraisal, and that oftentimes seen it happen, especially in the last few months. It's winning deals because of that.
Yeah, it definitely makes a huge difference on those offers. So with that, what do you call it? A TBD approval?
Correct.
How long does something like that last? Like, we're starting the process today, or let's say, we get the TBD approval today. How long do we have to find a house? How long is that good for?
30 days is the rule of thumb. Now, we will, but this happens at the end of any process, they will refresh the credit to make sure that you didn't go out and buy a Ferrari or something crazy during the process.
Right.
But that typical approval is good for 30 days. I would be okay with telling you waive the finance contingency up to 30 days after that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's definitely something that could, really greatly increase your odds of getting an offer accepted in one of these multiple offer situations.
Sure.
So that's awesome. So yeah, it is as simple as that. If you're ready to buy a home right now within the next 30 days, make sure you're speaking with your lender about getting a completely full approval prior to even finding your home. This way, when you do find the right home, you can make it contingent upon the appraisal, maybe contingent upon inspection, and your offer is just as strong as those cash offers. Only cash offers that are going to beat you out in that situation are those that are waiving the inspection rights, which you can do as well with the financing, or they're waiving the appraisal, which unfortunately that's something you cannot do if you're getting financing. But a lot of cash buyers, some of them are waiving the appraisals, but a lot of them, even though they're paying cash, they're still getting that appraisal. So your offer is just as strong. And speaking of strong offers in this market, in multiple offer situations, you want to make sure you go in with your best offer right off the bat. So if you find a home that you like, you want to think from the beginning, what is the most that I'm willing to pay for this home? If the sales price ends up going for more than that, I will not be upset because I went in with my strongest offer from the beginning. You don't want to offer a little bit less than your highest, hoping that either the seller decides to pick you to negotiate with, or the seller decides to call for highest and best offers. In this market right now, sellers are getting so many offers. They know that buyers know it's a serious market and are likely coming in with their strongest offers from the beginning. So they're just picking one of those offers from the beginning right off the bat when they're in multiple offer situations. So you may not have a second chance to come in and change your offer. So again, make sure you're thinking about that from the beginning and you're making your strongest offer from the get-go. That's how you best bid in this market, and that gives you the best chance to winning the property over somebody else who might not have done that. If you're looking for more information on how to properly buy a home in this market, go ahead and click the first link in the description. I've included a free buyer's guide that's written specifically for this summer 2021 market. Again, that's the first link in the description. Go ahead and download it for free. If you have any other questions or if you need help getting that to be determined approval, go ahead and reach out to either myself or Benji. All of our contact info is in the description below. And if you missed it, go ahead and check out my last video, which is right below here. Again, that was with Benji Spivey. We talked about a bunch of topics in regards to obtaining a mortgage. It's a great video. Again, click right here to go check that out. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.